them as scraps of paper.
Over the weekend, we had a very historic space launch. What are your thoughts on Trump's Space Force, as well as the efforts by the administration to bring back space travel to the country?
President Trump has actually been probably one of the most pro-space presidents in the last 30, 40 years. Among the other things that he's done is to issue a number of space policy directives that really have begun to reshape and reorient the American space program to clear regulatory hurdles so that if you want to launch a satellite, you don't have to go to multiple different agencies, to try and get everyone to give permission. Almost a one-stop shop. He's revamped the space situational awareness structure, shifting it out of the Air Force to the FAA. This creation of the Space Force is a vital part of this for two reasons. If you believe there's going to be space commerce, you want to have somebody out there protecting the space lanes, the same way that you have a navy to protect the sea lanes. Second of all is that China and Russia both created space forces around 2015. So the creation of the U.S. Space Force is hardly an escalatory war. We're militarizing space. We're actually late to the party by about 5 years.
In terms of the economic consequences, what do you think future relations will look like between the U.S. and China, particularly in relation to trade?
Well, we're already seeing the Chinese announce that they are going to cut back on agricultural purchases, which is a fundamental part of phase one of the trade deal that got us out of the trade war. So for the Chinese, they clearly see linkage as a legitimate tool. To be fair, we've done that in the past, both with China and Russia. But what's interesting is that using food as their linkage actually is a pretty weak hand for the Chinese. They have both a swine fever problem, which is killing off their pigs, and a parasite problem that is killing off vegetables and staple grains. So they're going to have to import food. And in fact, last quarter, they set a record for meat imports. They don't have to import all of that from the United States. But it's an interesting question whether anyone else can meet China's ravenous demands and also do it at an acceptable price. China's economy does seem to be slowing down. It's notable that the National People's Congress didn't even give a number for annual growth this coming year, suggesting it could be very bad. So they can play these cards, but it's going to be a really interesting question a year, 2 years, 3 years out, who's going to be on